Welcome back to the It's Time podcast. I'm Mariah, that bitch is Kaylee, and welcome to the show. Today's podcast...
I've never done that before. Hey, guys.
Hey, everyone. Today's podcast is sponsored by the one and only Flower Bloom. Thank you, Flower Bloom, for sponsoring this episode. That leads us into the catch-up.
The catch-up.
So, to continue talking about Flower Bloom, we had the event we've been talking about yesterday.
Whoop, whoop.
Very, very exciting. It was like, there was a lot of build-up for it, a lot of people excited. We knew a lot of people wanted to come, so we were expecting pretty good numbers, and the people showed up. It was our,
I would say, probably our second biggest
largest event to date. There was around 30 people, a lot of new people, a lot of new faces, people that have been wanting to come to an event but couldn't in the past and came out. And shout out to you guys. You guys so much of the time come alone and put yourself in that vulnerable situation. And when you're the person going alone, you don't know that the people there are going to be like open and welcoming and stuff. And so for us, we're like, please come, because it's the most welcoming, amazing group of people.
Yeah, once you get there, there's nothing to stress about. But
it's so easy to just fall into a conversation. All of a sudden 2 hours go by and you're like, I've been talking this whole time. I've exchanged information and I have these new friends that I can continue to see in our own time at these events. And it's pretty cool for us to just be able to, we're participating as well, but be able to see people connect. And I think we both do this where we're like, oh, they're exchanging Instagrams.
Yeah, no, I think both of us tend to at events like fall back a little bit and just like watch what's happening.
And we want to let people do their thing.
Yeah, and it's so fun to just see the things. I also think one of the things at picnics that gets me really excited is those people. Oh, I just hit him in the face. Hey, Dory. He's like, I don't care. I'm going to suckle on this blanket.
I'm a suckle.
The people that come and they're like, I've been following you guys for so long. I've been like trying to go to every event and for whatever reason it just hasn't worked out.
Yeah.
Like those are the
or
most
like they were nervous
people.
And kept putting it off.
And they were like, oh, this is the one I like finally ripped the Band-Aid off. I think that's so like just fun and exciting. It gets me giddy whenever somebody says that.
And it makes it like, oh, this is why we're doing this.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
it can feel, I think, leading up sometimes like this daunting thing that we're doing. And obviously conceptually we know it's a great thing and a thing we needed.
Yeah. But we started it kind of selfishly.
We did.
We wanted friends.
But sometimes it just feels like another thing on our plate. And then whenever you get to the event and it actually starts, you're like, oh, this is why. Like, this is
and it
why
makes you want to spend even more time and focus on it. And
I
put
always
more
leave
into
a picnic wanting to, like, pour my soul
Yeah.
into the group.
We should have, like, we should start doing after picnic chats where we just, like, go to a bar or a coffee shop and, like, sit and just, like, dissect it. Yeah. And then, like, put all of our ideas out on paper.
I love that.
Me too. Let's do that.
That's our new
thing.
On the sketch.
Okay.
Ooh, okay, fun.
Yes.
Well, yes.
Yes. Were you done?
I love that. Yeah.
Were you finished with your story? Okay. Keep going because I want water.
No. Well, I'm supposed to keep going now. We were doing a catch-up. Yeah, that was the big thing. Well, Friday night we went over to a friend's and we all watched a Christmas movie. She's like, what are you talking about? We watched a Christmas movie. Our friends are so sweet. They like had little gifts ready for us under the tree, and they were like, okay, like everyone
go pick out your present. And both of them were like homemade, like
just very like
things.
Thoughtful little
Love
gifts.
You guys.
Love you.
Kaylee and I didn't have gifts to
Which
get.
is so incredibly unlike us.
If you know us, you know that was really hard for us.
And I feel like we talk about gift giving a lot
really
on here. Like, I love to give a gift.
Yeah.
I think that's part of why I love Christmas so much. I'm never thinking about what I'm going to get on Christmas ever.
Yeah.
I've just never, well, when I was younger.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Of course. But
now it's like,
I'm always thinking about, like, ooh, how's this person going to feel when they open their gift for me? I just think that's
Can we talk about
fun. And then Christmas morning, I'm like, oh, wait, I get gifts.
I know. And then it's like a special surprise because you weren't even thinking about it really. Like you hadn't thought about it. Can we just talk about how hard it is to give gifts to people that open gifts really casually?
Oh, yeah.
And like totally fine. You do not need to put on a show.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm such a like we both are very expressive. So when someone's not expressive, it's not even just opening gifts. It's just when they're just not expressive people, I'm like, so you hate it and you hate me.
Literally. Or like we could be hanging out with someone and if they don't verbalize that they're having fun, we're like, so you hate me.
That's why Rachel we got really close with Rachel really fast because she was so verbal. Like, you guys, this is so fun. You guys, we're so fun. And I was like,
that's exactly why we got
yes. I feel like,
I am also having so much fun.
Yes, we're children.
Yes.
I'm having so much fun right now.
Okay, but is that not the cutest, sweetest thing?
No, it is. It's so like wholesome of us.
I'm just really, honestly, obsessed with whatever phase of life this is right now.
Me too.
And it feels very wholesome, very cute. Oh my god, that was so William just now.
William rubbing off on me.
I just feel like everything we're doing is just so sweet. Like, to finish the catch up, so we did Christmas movie Friday night. We both kind of rotted all day. Well, oh yeah, Hot Frosty was crazy, actually.
I don't know if I recommend. Maybe I recommend just for the lore.
I ate it up.
But
it's not a good movie. It's not a good movie.
But you, like, were entertained.
Yeah. But I was entertained
before. I was entertained, but very much in, like, it was a car crash. Like, I couldn't look away.
Oh, I was very much car crash energy.
I have to keep learning what happens and
also,
what the fuck.
So Hot Frosty, Ethan from 90210.
Figured that out about halfway through the movie. We were like, yeah, it looks a lot like him. It is him.
Yeah. We literally were like, Anyways. It's like a less attractive version of it.
Oh, yeah, and it is him. Sorry.
Oh, it's him.
Oops. So, yeah. And then Saturday, we stayed in.
Yeah.
And
we, like, tried to have plans. And then, yeah.
Also, last episode, we were talking about FOMO and how hard it is for us to cancel on friends. Mm. And this last weekend was a true testament of that. I was feeling really shitty. It was the first day of my period. And my period, I swear, gets worse every single fucking cycle. It was like definitely one of the worst period days I've ever had. Like, I can't walk type shit.
Oh my god.
Like I could walk, but like
yes, like I could.
I was about to do that thing. And so I was like, God, I'm gonna push myself. I'm just gonna go. I don't want to miss tonight.
Yeah.
And our most amazing, beautiful friend Ellie was like, how about you both stay in and rest and we'll hang out tomorrow at the picnic?
Because I was doing the same thing. I thought we were doing a chill night Friday. I thought I was, like, going to go to bed early and, like, all the things.
Yeah, we didn't.
And then I was going to do nothing all day Saturday. And then we were up late. And then I took Rachel to the airport. And then I just, like, didn't rest as much as I thought I was going to. So when when Anna pitched something, I was like, what if we, like, stayed in? Like, I'm just really tired.
Cozy
and
night.
Ellie's like,
you know what?
we could just not. Like, you could just rest.
So maybe with the conversation we were having last week, that's something. It's something that I'm like, oh, I should do that with my friends too.
Yeah.
Like, I should do that in return whenever that time comes. Because the way I felt getting that, like, that person took control and canceled it for me.
It's because neither one of us like to make decisions either.
Yes, it was just like maybe such a little thing, but it actually was a really big thing to me.
Yeah.
And I'm inspired to.
And the timing was crazy because we just did a whole episode on how we need to do that.
Yes.
And we couldn't get ourselves to do it, so our friend did it for us.
And now we have those types of friends in our lives. So that's a pretty cool overall catch up of, like, the podcast and our journey and the podcast and where we are now versus like how we were talking a year ago is pretty it's pretty cool actually.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, so that's the catch up.
Well, then we did the picnic, and after that we hung out with our friends and
with those friends that we didn't end up hanging out with the night before, so it was like all okay.
Yeah, we got drinks and we went to Peacock Lane, which is so just cute and pure, like I was saying.
Explain Peacock Lane for people who don't.
Oh, you don't all live here, so you should know this too. Peacock Lane is just, we really have. It's just literally it's one block of houses where literally contractually. It
feels like a much bigger deal than it is.
It so does. Contractually, when you buy a house on that block, you have to be willing to decorate for Christmas. Like, it's legit a thing. And you just walk the little block and there's a cocoa stand and
carolers.
Yeah, and all the houses are
there was like, Mariah,
themed.
Mariah, there's carolers.
No, they weren't regular carolers.
They were
they were woke carolers.
Yes. Okay, that's what Thompson said. No, he was like, they're they're liberal. I don't know.
Leftist carolers.
I was like, what does that entail?
Like leftist granny carolers.
At first, I was like, why do I want to go listen to the carolers sing about?
Wait, yeah, you were probably so confused.
I was like, what?
I was like, Mariah.
I was like,
oh my God.
You'll love this. I'm like, oh.
Just like,
okay, I don't know. I'm going to keep going. It was cute, though. It was very wholesome. Again, we're so wholesome.
We're so wholesome and cute.
Yeah.
That was the part of the night where everyone coupled off, though. And then you're watching everyone walk.
I know. And for a while, I was like, I'm just going to walk alone. But then I was walking right behind Ellie and Thompson. So I was like trying to just like enjoy.
Not me going, you guys are cute. I love you.
But yes, that's the reason why. Yeah, I don't know. Every time we hang out with Zach, Anna, Ellie, and Thompson, the more I'm like, love exists.
That's so true.
I'm like, oh, people find their person, except you fucking sent me that fucking Instagram thing.
I said that was me.
I know, but obviously I'm going to look at that and be like, it's me.
I just didn't even think about it like that. I was like...
There was like this stat.
Oh, well, it's me. I'm the one. See, I'm the 1 in 4, so it could only be one of us.
Oh my God. Wait. No. Don't. No, it doesn't mean your group of friends. No. Wait. No, I don't like that.
I'm sorry.
One of us?
I just messed up big time.
The stat was like 1 in 4 people or women?
Women will be single for their entire lives.
Does that mean literally your
whole
life?
Mariah and I said, me.
But then I'm like, fuck. If that stat's real, there's a very big chance that'll be me.
Wait, we're so Mary-Kate and Ashley right now. Whoa. Because your striped socks with my striped sweater.
Whoa. I wonder what this looks like in the camera.
Whoa.
That's crazy.
Anywho.
Anyways. Yes.
Anyway, our friends make us believe in love.
Yes.
And it's cute.
Yes. Love you guys.
We're such name droppers.
I know. But it's fun because it's like, this is just our friends hanging out.
It is.
So we're just like, you guys got to know our friends too.
Yeah. We can't just keep saying my friend. Like, that's confusing.
We want our friends to be a part of it.
That worked really well when we only had one friend.
Yeah. There wasn't much name dropping last year.
Oh, my friend. So you're talking about me?
Yes. So my friend. No, I don't think we said that much.
No.
So speaking of love, I have a little intro for it.
Oh, okay.
I want to explain why. What?
Oh, it's hair. I lifted the cord and then the hair came with it and I thought it was a spider.
Like a web? Wait, I need a drink of water before this.
Oh.
Sing a little Jeopardy song.
Do 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 do.
You know, I would guess it was like 8 p.m.
Oh.
But it's like...
I would guess like 9.
But
it's bedtime.
It's not even 5.
Not even 5?
No, it's 4:52. I don't love that.
I'm feeling more affected by it than I literally ever have.
In my whole life. Never really noticed it.
The last 3 years. So maybe it's
been a progression.
Age.
It's been a progression. And
when I was younger, I really didn't.
I did not No, but I think it's being an adult and the things that come with being an adult where the light actually affects you. Because when you're a kid, you're like, okay, I'm going to just keep doing what I'm doing.
And I'm still watching TV.
Yeah, cool.
Oh, God, yeah. Anyways, so
Whoa, the tangents today.
Whoa.
See, guys, I started Adderall, but I don't really feel that different. Like...
How long until you're on, like, your full dose?
Like, not until January. Well, that's not that long
really
away.
Soon.
Yeah, January.
It's not bad.
So the tangents will keep coming for now.
I'm not medicated, so they'll always stay.
Yeah, you'll keep the tangents coming. Or Adderall will lead me to more tangents. It could go either way. So I was driving, and I was listening to this song that made me think about my ex.
Wow.
So I was thinking about my ex, and then I've been feeling really nostalgic lately because of our friends. Like, I've just been feeling really, I think the, like, feeling wholesome and, like, feeling happy with your friends makes you feel nostalgic.
Yeah.
Maybe because I haven't felt like that in a while. Like, kind of like a kid. So then feeling that nostalgic feeling transferred into other areas of my life because I was feeling soft, you know?
Yeah.
And so
I was feeling soft.
I was.
What a crazy statement.
No, it's like when you're like, I want to listen to the music that makes me think
that
of my ex,
trigger this
and
feeling.
that makes me feel sad, and that makes me think of this trauma or whatever. It's like I want to be soft in it. Like I want to feel it, and I'm not that type of person that, like, I don't enjoy being sad, but I, like, crave it sometimes.
I get that.
You know? And because I feel like it's like kind of poetic.
Yeah.
And, like, a different type of romanticizing.
Also, like, I kind
and just feeling.
Live for, like, the sad aesthetic. I know that sounds, like, crazy.
No, but it's real.
But it is.
I think that's super real.
Like, let me just put on my big comfy clothes and, like, slick back my hair that I haven't washed in a while. And, like,
feel.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
I think it's because we talk about how we like to romanticize our lives quite often. So that also affects negative, not that being sad is negative, but I'm saying, like, darker emotions, anger, sadness. You can still romanticize those things too. So of course we want it to feel like we're in a movie. Like, that just makes sense.
Like, since I was a child in the back of my mom's purple minivan.
Looking out at the rain.
And the rain is sliding down. And the sad song is playing on the radio. Down. And I'm like, oh, my life is so hard.
My God.
They didn't have teriyaki beef bites at school today.
Yes, so that's how I was feeling.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no teriyaki beef bites. I get it.
Yes. And then I started thinking, because I was, like, listening to these, like, Ariana songs or, like, a Sabrina song, and it's, like, relatable. Me too. I'm, like, really just, like, in it. And a lot of her music has aligned. I think this is why I've always been obsessed with her. It's aligned with my life, like, every time. Like, when Thank You Next came out, when Sweetener came out, that's what I was in. When Thank You Next came out, that's what I was in. And I feel like when Eternal Sunshine came out, that's what I was in.
Yeah.
And one of her...
I see that for you.
Yeah. And thank you. And so I was listening to one of the songs that made me think of, like, the negative things about my relationship and the things
Is
that...
it too much to ask the song?
It's... Oh, my God.
Thank You Next was a breakup album for me, but I was not in the Thank You Next phase of the breakup.
Got it.
I was in the cry phase of the breakup.
I think it's Don't Want to Break Up Again. That was a really big, like, that was literally aligned with when she says, like, the situationship has to end. I'm like, whoa, because she's talking about the part of a relationship. Well, I can't say this factually, but I interpret it as she's saying it about the part of a relationship after, like, there's a breakup, there's an end, but you keep, like, seeing each other because you have, but so then it turns into a situationship.
Yeah.
But it's with your ex. And then you're like, okay, we got to stop because we're not breaking up again.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. So I related to that in that period when it came out. I was in that period of my life from my relationship with my ex. And then I started thinking, like, wow, I should share some of the things that I noticed looking back. But then I jumped into like, no, because that's talking bad about the person. And then I was like, oh, I don't want to like go on my podcast and speak badly about my ex.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was like, it's not a bad thing. It's not, you can criticize and talk about things that aren't good without destroying another person or tearing them down.
Yeah.
You know? Even though if you're that person listening, maybe it would always feel rough, but I don't mean it in an attack way and like he's a bad person. That's not what I would ever say.
I think look back at that time in your life as this like, I mean, this isn't all it is, but like a loving thing that happened, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like with that perspective, it's not, I don't know, everything you're saying is still said with love, even if it's not a positive statement.
And it's not necessarily personal. It's like certain things, sometimes people it doesn't fit. Like certain things that you do or ways that you communicate or express or whatever, if it doesn't align, it doesn't align. It doesn't mean that person is a bad person.
As the Grinch says, one man's trash is another man's potpourri.
Yes.
Not that your ex is trash, but,
yes.
You get what I'm saying.
Yes.
What you might not like, someone else might be looking for.
Yeah. And I also, when I was having those feelings, realized that, and I think we do this as humans, when you're going through a breakup, you focus on the negative stuff, the reason you broke up, and you kind of sit in that this is my experience at least. I've been sitting in that for like a year of like just focusing on the bad. Mm-hmm. And then some songs bring around that feeling, and then I start going down the rabbit hole of the really good stuff. Mm-hmm. And especially like we were talking last night, not to air us out, but about feeling lonely. Yeah. And we were really going through that last night. Yes. Like I felt really lonely. I mean, it was like a great night and I loved being with everyone, but I was feeling the singleness. It was like heavy. And
yes, very much so.
So when I'm feeling that way too, it's like the closeness, like the having a person that is like, you know. So that's what made me think of discussing like the feelings or the things that come up or you notice after you're out. It doesn't have to be a romantic relationship, a friendship.
The clarity.
Yeah, when you get to that point, like, do you feel like over time you still notice things about an ex or a friend or anything that was toxic or you know? Sure. And then it's like, whoa, I just like did that. Like,
I feel like as time goes on, people are, it's probably a mix of two things, of you being more willing to hear people's less positive opinions about whatever that relationship was, and other people feeling more comfortable sharing their less positive opinions. But I feel like every once in a while, even with me, I mean, I've been out of my relationship for a long time, but randomly, like a conversation will pop up and someone will say something like their actual opinion about it, and I'll be like, oh, I never noticed that or thought about it that way, but yeah, damn, you're right.
Or when people like really validate you when you're talking about it, you're like da-da-da, and they're like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah. Or like, yeah, I kind of thought that. It's like, oh.
Oh, okay then.
Okay, cool.
It is crazy though, because when you have the hindsight, you're like, how did I let myself keep going?
And
is this all why you texted me that the other night?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Can I share the toxic thing I wanted to do?
Yeah, you can share whatever you want to share.
I don't think he listens.
I don't think he listens consistently.
He listens sometimes?
I don't know.
Well, she talks to him more than I do.
Yeah, but we don't talk about that.
Well, that would be weird.
Do you listen to the podcast? No, it's just like an occasional check-in.
I mean, like, there's no bad blood between us. We're good.
Yeah.
We're just no contact. So it's like, I think you kind of go down rabbit holes, you know? So when she said, like, is that why you texted me? I texted Kaylee at like fucking 1 a.m. or something.
Yeah.
And I knew she was asleep, but I wanted her to talk me off the ledge. Not the ledge, but like the ledge of doing something toxic. Because I sometimes get the urge. I've talked about this. This is why I fucking was obsessed to tell me lies. I guess it didn't completely satisfy the need to be toxic.
Yeah.
And so I was in those feelings I was kind of talking about. And I literally texted Keely at like 1 a.m. and was like, I wish you were awake because I'm feeling really toxic or something.
Yeah, you said I'm feeling really toxic. I want to text.
Oh, yeah. I want to text my ex. And I also was like, I actually genuinely was like, I hope he's doing okay. Mm-hmm. I kind of want to I like want to know that he's okay. Yeah. But I don't want to break no contact. Yeah. Because that's also not fair.
Yeah.
To the other person to like bring up if they don't want it.
I don't know about where he's at, like in a dating mindset. But I could see that going south real quick between the two of you if you broke no contact.
If we broke no contact.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
in the dark winter months.
Yeah. So I was I'm just going to air myself out. I was stalking his Instagram and I went back to like the very beginning. And I went through every post and I was looking through like my comments and the way.
Does he have a lot of posts?
It's not like an insane amount. But it doesn't go that far past when I started commenting.
Oh, okay.
So it was mostly like seeing my comments.
Like not a necessary detail, but I need a clarification.
And this is good because it also is something that I noticed that I never spoke up about. A lot of my comments are like, so proud of you, you're amazing, love you, whatever. And he's a photographer and he lived in Southern California. A lot of his photography was bikini photography. That's totally fine. I genuinely actually don't care overall. But you still have like some thoughts. Mm-hmm. It's not that you're like, don't do it. I would never want him to not do it. But it's also like, damn, like these are like LA models in bikinis on the beach. Yeah. And like, I don't look like that, which is fine. And that never mattered. But I never said anything about that once. Once.
I don't know. I feel like that's almost like an implied thing.
What?
That you don't love him. Like,
yeah.
Obviously, that's not ideal.
Yeah.
And that doesn't have to be a trust thing at all. It can literally just be like a...
Damn.
What?
No, it could just be like a damn.
Oh. Yeah. It can just be a damn.
Like, that's fine. Also just living in LA, so there was a thing. But he had this post that he made. Yeah, I'm just gonna tell it. He had this post that he made like after our breakup, and it was like this long post about change and how unexpected it is and that kind of thing. And at the end, there's a photo of me in it, but you can't tell it's me. Mm-hmm. But I know it's me.
That was crazy. And I remember reacting to that in real time.
The photo that he posted was the day that we decided we were breaking up. And we were on the beach in Laguna. And I was like, after our conversation, I was like walking in the water. And it's that photo of me. And in the caption, he said, as one of my best friends, or as my best friend always says, nothing changes if nothing changes. And that's like my phrase with him. I always said that. That was like my thing. So I was like, damn. He did a post about like me, basically, without it being about me. Not that it was all about me. There was a lot of things happening at that time in his life. And I never liked it because at the time I was bitter. And I blamed everything. Oh my God, that scared me. I blamed everything on him for a while, I think, as you go through waves.
Yeah.
And I don't feel that way now. But at the time, I was like, when he posted it, I was feeling that way. So I didn't like it because I liked the photo because I didn't want him to know I saw it. Mm. Like, I wanted him to be like, maybe she didn't see it.
Yeah.
And, because, I don't know. And so that night.
I get that.
Yeah. The night I texted you.
In the moment, in the heat of it all happening. Yeah.
Like, no. So the night I texted you, I wanted to like that picture.
Oh, no.
That was the toxic thing that I was talking about.
Ew.
Like, that would have been really bad.
Yeah, that would not have been good.
But in the moment, I was like this fucking close. I was like really in my feels. I was like, I really want to do that. But I didn't. I woke up to a text from Kaylee like, did you do it? I could like feel the stress.
I woke up and I was like, oh, fuck.
Because it was unexpected, huh?
Yeah. Felt like it came out of left field.
Because it did.
And then I was like, oh, I'll hear it from both sides. Oh, man.
Oh, God. Yeah, you'd get thrown in the middle.
Yeah. But that's okay. I had nothing going on in my life, so it was kind of nice to be in the middle. It was like my relationship, too. Whoa, you guys.
The divorce.
Did anyone stop to think about how I was going to feel?
The divorce. You're the divorce child.
I am.
The child of divorce.
I started doing it, too, because I just was like, oh.
Oh, you're looking at it?
But obviously, it shows me my comments.
Oh.
And they're really funny.
Yeah.
Crazy.
You always commented, like, funny stuff, I feel like.
Oh, me? Funny? What?
You always say that, but...
What?
Kaylee and my ex we're like sibling energy.
Oh my god.
It was
more than me and my actual
They would
sibling.
like wrestle.
Like pretty much every time we saw each other.
Like it was. I would just sit there and they would be like. I felt like I was.
I would actually be like, guys. Like,
no, I'd be like the annoyed parent.
She'd be like,
because I'd be sitting. This might sound weird, but we're just very close. We were sitting on my bed, and you guys were like wrestling on my bed, and I was just sitting at the edge, like, guys, stop it, because they kept like bumping into me. I'd be, guys, Kaylee would like usually win, right?
Yeah.
And
pretty sure I won every time.
Kaylee would be like, they'd be like yelling too. I don't know. Well, yeah, I'd probably pick you in most fights.
Thank you. So, why were we talking about how we were all close?
I think we were just talking about like how close you and my ex were. Oh, because we were talking about how you were in the middle because you were you got close with him, and then it's like she actually is one of his friends. So
yeah, if they were fighting, it would be like ding 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 ding. 5 from her, 4 from him. Voice message.
But it shows that you're a good friend because you weren't like showing me any of that.
Oh, really?
Like, I think that shows that you're like a genuine friend to my ex too.
Oh.
And it was probably smart. Like, some people could have been like, "Oh my god, he's saying this."
Look at what? Yeah.
So I feel like that was
it was very much like, you're my friend, you're my friend.
Yeah. Kept it separate, and I think that that's nice. Wow,
thanks.
You know what would be even kinder? Oh, that's a different song.
Whenever.
That's a completely different song. I'm a little gardened.
See that girl?
I gardened a little bit.
Tragically beautiful girl. At the beginning, I was like, yeah. And then you were talking, and I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
And now I'm like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the topic.
Wait, actually, let's get into it because I think it's really good.
Okay.
I think this is some of your best work.
Oh. Wow.
We're being like really nice to each other.
It's that wholesome shit, man. The house across the street is for sale.
I know. It's really expensive.
Really?
Yeah.
So let's get into it.
Yeah, let's please. Okay. That's like the 4th time we've tried to start it with like just in the last 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, do you want to like get open about the things?
Do you want to like get open
about the things that like came to?
Triggered a memory in me.
Oh.
Not about this. About like, I don't know, getting a Brazilian or something. The way you worded it, I was like, wait.
A Brazilian? What? How did you get there?
It was like, never mind. No one's gonna understand my thought process.
It's okay.
It made sense to me. Okay. Well, I didn't realize until I was out of my relationship how my boyfriend really liked like being smarter than me. Like was really liked to like elevate himself in that way.
It was a little condescending.
Yeah.
Because I could see it.
Yeah.
Because he also was like that to other people too.
Mm-hmm.
So it probably was just intensified in a partner.
Yeah. And I was totally blind to that.
The whole time.
Completely.
He wasn't like...
It wasn't malicious.
Yeah.
By any means. I don't think he was like, oh, I'm going to make this bitch feel dumb.
Yeah. Like he... I don't know.
And he was very, very smart.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very smart. And I think that's probably why I didn't see it, because I loved that about him. And I know I'm a smart person too, but he was smart in ways that I am not.
Yeah.
So I would just be like, yeah, like I don't get it. And it just was like the thing, the bit. Yeah.
Did he liked the bit?
I don't know how much he liked the bit. I think...
I feel like...
No, I think he like wanted me to be smarter than I was.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
He saw... That's weird. Like he saw more. Like he was like, you have the potential.
You have the potential. Yeah, he like...
Kind of
I
condescending
think,
as
like,
well.
wanted me to be like an intellect. Like I'm smart, but I'm no intellect.
Intellect.
That's crazy.
There's different levels of intellect. I would consider myself an intellect.
I'm a pop culture intellect.
Well, that is an intellect. I feel like there could be little niches. Like I think I'm an intellect, but I'm not at that level of intelligence at the same time. But I enjoy...
There are certain topics that you are...
And I enjoy learning. Like I enjoy the culture of reading and learning about things and facts and theories.
You do love that.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's talk about that in an episode someday.
That's the one that really sticks out to me. My mom mentioned it after she would like poke at it when we were together. And I always just like shut it down. And then again, it was one of those things later where she said it more matter-of-factly and I had more distance. And I was like, yeah.
Was that...
But she's my mom, so I would never admit that she was right.
Was that like the first time though that it made you think of it? Is when she said it?
Pretty much, yeah.
Interesting. And like...
I'm so far removed from it now, though. It's hard to think of the things. Because I do know for the first probably 2 years we were broken up, I kept having moments of like, whoa. Like, how did I literally did not see that before.
Yeah.
Literally did not see it.
Love is blind, man.
That phrase?
It's real.
Yeah, checks.
It's real. Looking back at that, this is like such a random question, but it made me think of it. Like, if you're the friend and you see something like that, do you feel like that's not a big deal where you'd ever need to bring it up to your friend? Or looking back, would it be like, oh, that would have been nice for a friend to have brought that up?
To point that out to me?
Because I think I feel that way with a lot of things. Like, when do I say something? Because it's also not my business.
Yeah. It's really hard to decide, I think, when it comes to what?
I just did that really weirdly and I was self-aware of it.
To decide, like, when and how to comment on a friend's relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Because as the partner, I feel like you always want to leap to your partner's defense.
Yes, especially when you're young.
And
actually, anytime.
You don't want anyone to see your partner in a bad light. I think that's where a lot of that stems from. So if someone makes a comment, you're like, but wait, like, I want you to like them. Yeah. And that's not true. And so it can put you in a shitty position as the friend, because now it's almost like your friend is questioning you a little.
Yeah. Well, and it can like push you away from. I feel like that's like a plot line in a lot of shows.
From sharing certain details with your friends.
Yeah. And then, like there have been situations in my life where it's like you're concerned about the safety of somebody, but if you say something that could push them actually closer to the person that's putting them in danger. Obviously, this situation is not that level. Yeah, no. I'm talking about other more serious when the person's in danger.
Just heightened.
Like, genuinely in danger. So that freaks me out then to say anything in that situation. But when it's small, not small, but like things that aren't putting you in immediate danger, it's like, what do I
think there's like a lot of variables
say
that go into it. And I feel like I probably couldn't name, other than the one big obvious one, in your last relationship, things that I was like, do I
actually was going to ask that.
Like, share my opinion on this, or do I not?
I was going to ask if there were...
I can only think of the one big one. The thing we always talked about.
Oh. As being like, this is the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was a thing you talked about too, so it made it easier. But there were definitely smaller things that I was like...
You were honest, though. You would be like, I don't think it's going to work.
I was honest about that.
Yeah.
I think there's just so many variables that come into play. Like with my example, I don't know, especially being so young, I don't know how open I would have been to that feedback. But also maybe it's
being
just
in high school,
the approach of like, if someone said, hey, if this doesn't bother you, or if you don't see this at all, like no big deal, but like I've noticed this.
Yeah. And I would not have known to communicate that way back then.
Oh, absolutely not.
I probably would have tried to make a joke or like, yeah, it wouldn't have landed.
Yeah.
Okay, so did the right thing. I don't even know though at the time though if I even thought of that of being like something to call out.
Yeah.
Like at that age I'm like, oh, that's just whatever.
Yeah.
You know? Now it's like I notice so many little things, which makes sense. The more you experience, the older you get.
Well, and how
you have more respect for yourself.
I think when you're younger, it's easier to take things like at face value of like, oh, like you're just a really smart person and you like to come across as smart or whatever. And then as you get older, you could be like, oh, that actually could be like, that could raise a flag of all these other things that could lead to or could cause or like, you know, fractures that could create.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't have that perspective when you're 15.
Or when you're fucking 25. Because, whoa, it makes my heart race thinking about it. Whoa.
I also think part of that for you, though, was that was your first relationship, too. So it does give you some of those more like,
sense.
Youthful.
Yeah, I didn't get into my first relationship until I was 23. Oh my God, my heart. It's actually pounding really fast. Besides that, the big thing it was something that I was really aware of in the relationship. Yeah. The thing that she was referring to. That's one that I won't speak about. Yeah. Out of respect.
And I do think that could be a thing for you that's like, this does not align for me. And for someone else that could be so ideal of like, oh, I want someone who prioritizes this in this way, you know?
Right.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be a bad thing, just not your thing.
Yes. But something that I think I realized, we had talked about it after the breakup, but like friends, I've talked about it with friends after the breakup, but it really hit me when I was watching Tell Me Lies, and I was like, the way they were portraying how Lucy is obsessed with conflict and is turned on by conflict and craves it and feels like if there's not something to fight about or have drama about, then like, well, that's not a good relationship. Yeah. And that's how I am. So I was like, whoa, that's fucking why. That thing is why we always got drunk. Like when we hung out, we were always drunk.
That was a thing that I kept that one to myself. I was like, you guys sure drink a lot together.
We always got drunk together. And I wouldn't say I'm always an emotional drunk, but if I'm just getting drunk with my boyfriend, I'm probably gonna get a little like in my feels or dramatic or whatever. And like I'm talking like we'd go out to dinner and like we're doing shots, like type of shit. And which was like at the time I'm like, this is so fun.
Yeah.
But it always ended in like crying. Which Kaylee has said on the podcast before. Crying at dinner. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah.
I was gagged. But yes, that did happen quite often. And I think like I never, like what I was saying in the beginning, I never wanted to like talk through these things on here because it felt like I was shaming him. But now that I'm saying it,
it also doesn't have to be a him thing. Like,
yeah, that was an us thing. Well, first of all, but then it also makes you think like, yes, I had a part in that with like my desire to fight. Like, let's get drunk. I'm gonna cry. We'll fight, but then we're gonna go home together, and it'll be fun. Yeah. And that's fucking toxic as shit. Yeah. Okay. So I see that. I see my part in that. But all of the things that were being discussed that were making me cry or we would fight were like valid things. Mm-hmm. It would be about the thing.
Yeah.
And everything that surrounded that. So they were like things that I was blaming him for, but I was poking the bear at the same time. So then it, led to a very passionate relationship.
Yeah.
In that way.
Yeah, you guys were high highs and low lows. Yeah. For sure.
The highs were fucking fun though.
The eyebrow raise.
Because I'm still feeling the like.
Isn't it crazy how we talked about this last time? Or maybe it was a couple ago, but like how you can physically feel the feeling again, like in your body.
Yeah. Just that person like popping into your head. It's like, whoa.
I'm a little too far gone for that now. There's very few things that make me like actually physically
feel that way. Yeah, I'm like, oh, I just hit a year since the last time I saw him. Mm-hmm. In the situationship era.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a time.
Sneaky little bitch. Didn't even tell me.
Because I knew what she would say. It's like, I don't want to tell anyone because they're going to say...
I literally found out because... Have I said this on here before?
I don't know.
Because...
He flew into town.
I went on Find My Friends. And both their little dots were in the same spot. I was like...
Gagged.
Wait a minute.
Gagged. So yeah, that was definitely actually a big thing I've been thinking about recently. Because it's not recent, but it's still recent enough.
It's recent enough to feel relevant.
To be fresh in ways.
And recent enough that...
And I haven't been with anyone else.
You're still in phases of exiting that relationship, I feel like. Like, there's things that just take certain amounts of time.
Yeah.
To, like, notice or get to the emotional maturity or the clarity or, whatever it is. You can be over the relationship and still not have experienced these certain parts of the breakup.
Right. It's complex. And I think that's why I personally don't understand how people can get into relationships fast. Because I need time in between. I've never had another relationship to see that time period, but I can tell I'm the type of person that needs time.
Yeah.
Because then I feel like that just leads to like more breakups.
Well,
and I'm not a strong person.
I think jumping into another relationship is like a really big red flag.
Yeah, jumpers. Yeah, jumpers.
Like give it a few months at least. It is crazy though how you can have that same experience with friendships. Of like, oh, now that I'm out of this, I see why that wasn't serving me.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, sorry. I just realized how, that must really strike a chord for you.
Well, are you talking about my big one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, friendship breakups are dark.
Yeah. I've never had, like, a real, like, in the way you have.
Yeah.
Of, like, in such
It was like a break
a short period of time. It's like we were attached at the hip, and now we're nothing. I've never had a friendship been like that.
I don't think she hates me or looks at it the way I do.
Yeah.
I look at it as a dark cloud. And even, like, seeing her on my feed, like, makes me feel triggered and trauma and, like, darkness. And the worst times of my life, literally the worst times of my life, were next to her.
Yeah.
And she was
not a good friend through that.
She was not a good friend, and she didn't cause all the things, but she was the person that was my person at the time. And she probably was the worst friend I've ever had in such a dark time, to the point of, like, I feel so confidently saying that because of how real it is, to the point of where I don't understand the people in my life that still have her in their lives. And I would say that to them.
Yeah.
I just do you. I'm not gonna, like, stop you from doing something, but if it was me, I couldn't. It's like those TikToks that are like, well, they were always so nice to me. And I'm like, ooh, if you're my, like, if you said that to me, like, this person did that, like, okay, they did that, fuck that.
Yeah.
You know? I'm not going to be like, really? Because they've always been really nice to me.
Yeah. No, I'm going to take your side,
like,
obviously.
I believe what you're saying, and I don't want someone in my life who is like that.
Who would treat anyone that way.
And does those things. Why would I want that person in my life? And you know what? It's been a really long time, and maybe she's grown and she's different now. I don't know. But there's no desire to ever
find out.
Be around that person again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, breakup. It was an abusive relationship. It was a traumatic.
It really was.
It was like,
it was never
the worst,
good from the start.
It was the worst breakup I've ever had. Out of all the situationships, out of the one real one. Like, and I really didn't see all the shit during it. Like, I was so deep in it. Like, how I think, how you are when you're with someone who's manipulative and narcissistic and abusive.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. It was so bad. Crazy.
Yeah, that was not a good friendship at all.
Yeah, it was like a really long relationship, too.
So what is that, like, scientifically? What is that stops you from comprehending those things in the moment? Because it's something.
You're so blind. It's crazy.
Is it the serotonin? Like,
do you think, like,
I don't know.
There's an answer for this that we could look up?
Maybe.
Love you, Electric Lettuce. They always like our stories.
Do they?
Oh. If you know the words to the song, sing along. Sing along.
All I can hear is in Shrek. The birds.
I'm not doing it good. Oh, that was a good one.
Keep thinking of Got it.
Keep thinking. That is it.
Wow. Yeah. The second one was good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So Kaylee looked it up, and there is not a scientific reasoning for why we are blind to toxic things in relationships.
Love goggles is the term. The commonly
the
used
rose-colored
term.
Glasses.
Yep. What is that?
When they come off, man, slaps you across the face.
It's got to be a chemical, though.
It does. I think maybe it's
like your brain likes receiving this chemical
can't
so
explain
much.
love.
They're like, no. I don't want to hear any of that because I'm too busy getting this.
It's like, no.
Chemical
Do not ruin this for me. I'm having fun.
Don't ruin my supply.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you gotta face, what's that phrase? Face the?
Music.
What does that come from?
I I feel like we both just did the exact same thing. And I'm horrified of it.
Me too. Where does the phrase "face the music" come from? You're gonna hate this.
Oh, God.
It comes from the military drumming out ceremony for disgraced soldiers.
Oh, actually, that's kind of funny.
Actually, I didn't read the end of it.
For the
I just saw the
soldiers?
drumming.
Yeah, if it was like just
Face, like the
like about face the music. Like,
literally
no.
face the music.
But like
It's so
this is
literal.
like, oh, you suck. We're kicking you out of the army. Face the music.
Fuck.
That's actually hilarious.
Okay, well that's where it comes from.
Face the music. I'm gonna use that phrase more now.
Okay. So when you have to face the music, you have to face the music. There's no choice.
There
really isn't. Because if you don't, you never grow. And then you never get to the point where you're like, oh, I don't want that in a relationship. I'm going to do better next time.
So there are people that don't face
That
the
don't
music.
do that.
Yeah.
That spend their whole lives in a cycle of abuse.
Wow. Or face the
I
music.
know a lot of boomers
face
like
the
that.
music, but can't walk away from the music. Still intrigued by the music.
Yes. Or
the music piques their interest. Oh, what's that song? I think I've heard it before.
I remember what I was going to say earlier.
Oh.
There are things, because you were talking earlier about, like, there's not a lot of things that, like, feel that way, or for me, I'll, like, go through phases where I'm just, like, not even thinking of them. Like, they don't even cross my mind. I'm, like, pretty good. If they do cross my mind, I'm, like, I'm fine. I'm not really, like, feeling any type of way about it. But then, like, there are things that'll happen, like, big things that happen in your life, and you're, like, proud of something that you've done, or, like, something really cool that's happening, and you're like, oh, I wonder if they saw that, or... Because, like, they were, at one point, someone who would be, like, the first person I talked to about it. And now, like, I don't even know if they know.
Yeah. I get that.
And so that makes me feel...
That goes away eventually.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that makes sense.
Because I've had a lot of things like that in the past year. Like, big things.
Yeah.
And I don't think that they look at any of my stuff anymore.
Any of it at all, you don't think?
Mm-mm. I feel like they muted me, probably.
I kind of hope that for them. Yeah.
And so I don't, like, look for his view. But if I'm looking, I'll be like, depending on what it is, I'll be like, oh.
Yeah.
I never see their name in here anymore.
Yeah. I muted my ex.
Yeah.
And it actually was, like, a long time after our breakup. It was, I don't know, like a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a new girlfriend, and I just, didn't have any ill will. But they were on, like, a trip or something, and it just was, like, every day there was a story of her, and I was like, okay, like, maybe I just don't need to watch that every day.
You don't need to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, if he started posting with somebody, I'd probably be like, okay.
Yeah.
Or...
I don't think my ex has looked at a single thing since we broke up. Why did I used to know that?
Because, I don't know.
But there was a way I knew.
A period of time
it
where
had
you
to have
did
been
look?
through you. There was a period of time where I knew he wasn't seeing anything I was posting, but he was seeing what you were posting.
Like he muted you, too, maybe?
Probably.
Yeah. I actually take back what I said. I think I'd be the type of person who would have to see every single thing. Like, I don't have the self-control to, like, be like, it's probably healthy for me not to look. No, I want to look at everything. I want to see everything, and I want to know everything.
Yeah, that would be you.
Like, if there's a crumb, I gotta follow the trail. I got to.
I followed the trail the first time.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay.
Yeah. But,
I
like,
you're just,
in
like,
general,
curious.
In general, like, even in a relationship, like, if there's a crumb, I want to follow it.
Yeah, we kind of had this conversation the other
Give
day.
me your phone.
Let me see.
And you know what? That's just how self-aware I am. And
at least I know it about myself.
And I don't want to do those things in my next relationship. So when I talk about it, I hope I'm not manifesting it for the future. I'm talking about it in the past.
Previously.
The way I've been.
On Gossip Girl.
The way I've been. The way I've acted. I'm trying to break that cycle, though. But sometimes it's fun.
Yeah. Oh.
Toxic.
We also could mention the fact that, like, this happens for you personally, too. Like,
what?
Your self-reflection on how you were in that relationship.
That's so true.
I had no idea how toxic I was in my relationship until I was out of it.
You're blind to that too, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, not toxic in, like, I think everyone's immediate assumption toxic kind of
toxic
way.
can mean a lot of
Toxic
things.
in, like, I put way too much pressure on this poor little boy.
That's so funny. Poor little boy.
Yeah. Like, really relied on him for some heavy shit. And that was not fair. And continued that throughout our whole relationship.
Yeah.
There's lots of other little things, but that was like my big...
Yeah.
And I didn't realize how... Well, when we broke up out of high school, and I was like my first few months of college, I kind of understood how I was doing it in high school. And I do think I did do it still when we got back together in college. Maybe less so. But God, I hope I never do that to anyone ever again. And I think a big part of that is I never had the real, like, support system outside of him that I needed. So I kind of forced him to be all of it for me. And that wasn't fair. And that's why one of my biggest goals before I got in another relationship was I really wanted to have strong female friendships. Like, that was my big thing. I wanted that, and I wanted to own a house. That was...
You're like,
those were my to-dos.
So I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm like, anytime now, any day.
The doorbell rings.
Can you imagine? The vampire sound goes off. Dracula.
She has not changed her doorbell since Halloween.
I actually did change it after you left that one day. I almost changed it to a Christmas one, and then I was like, oh, I'll just forget about that one, too.
Yeah. Do you feel like that self-realization comes later, though? Like, or do you feel like it was an instant after the breakup feeling? When you're thinking, because when you first break up, you're kind of thinking of the negatives.
That's an interesting question.
About the person. Unless you were the reason. Well, I think no matter what, you're thinking about the negatives.
both of us because it was like, it was a pretty mutual breakup. But still, I didn't want to Well,
I blamed him completely for everything. In the beginning. And I was like, it was hard for me to be like super sympathetic to him.
Yeah.
Because I was like, you put us here. This is your doing.
Yeah.
You did this to yourself. Which, like, the last final things he did too. But, like, the relationship overall, it coming to an end, the blame is not on one person. Some cases, yes. But in my case, it was a mutual breakup if you look at it as a whole.
Yeah.
And it would have been, the reason why it happened when it did was because of something he did. But it would have happened in a mutual way, I think. And good thing it did, because we would have kept presenting each other.
The first time we broke up, I was very much in like a self-reflective, like groveling anything I can do to like show that I'm ready to like jump back into this. Because when we broke up, the first time we were very much like still in love. We broke up logically because we were going to college. And so when I had to go to college first, and I'd already been at college for 2 months, and he like had just got there, I was like, wait, but I learned all these things, and I'm so sorry I used to do that to you. And by the way, I guess I'm kind of doing it right now because you're trying to have space in college. And I'm like,
I'm ready.
Date me. Yeah, so that first time I was like, oh, but like, what can I do to like make him want me again? Even though he still wanted me, it wasn't like I needed to do anything to change. But I was trying to sell myself almost.
Yeah.
And then the second time around, and it felt very final. It felt like the right decision. So I do think I put a lot of blame on him at first of like, this is all about how you treated me. Like we had this conversation over and over and over again about how this needs to change, and you cry and I cry, and then
nothing changes.
Nothing changes. Yeah.
Nothing changes if nothing changes.
Mm-hmm. So then I was like, oh well, we broke up because of how you act. But like you said, it's like a whole culmination. Of things.
Breakups are weird. See, but with the friendship breakups, you can be like, nah, that was you.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe depending on. But I think it's easier. Not friendship breakups are hard, but it's easier to be like, fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it depends on the type of breakup you have, though, a romantic one. Because there are definitely some situations where it's like,
where
fuck
it is,
you.
yeah.
But in both of our experiences, I mean, with my situationship breakups, I am like, fuck you. Completely.
Yeah, but both of our relationships, I think, they both just needed to end way before they did, and neither one of us knew how to let go of it, or our partners.
Yeah, broke up for like a month, and then got back together.
Oh, God, yeah. I was like, come on, baby, come on, stick it out.
Is it gonna last? It did not. Pretty much right when I got home from Europe, I was like, hey.
Yeah.
So, well,
I thought we were going strong. Like a few weeks before Europe, it was like, I'd get home from work and she's like, let's FaceTime. And we'd like be on FaceTime for hours.
Oh my God.
Keeping her busy. I was like, yeah, we're doing it. We're in the thick of it. R.I.P.
But then you like go on a trip and you're like having fun, meeting people. And when you're that close to a breakup, it's like, well, I'm just thinking about that person.
Mm.
Like being flirty and stuff, it's like, I kind of wish it was him.
Yeah.
So. But then the second Europe time, I was like, single! Woo! And I lived that single life. Let me tell you.
Single Kaylee in Europe is just an
a different breed.
Different woman.
Something happens in Europe, man. I mean, like, I'm such a big talker, but me too.
Well,
like, I'm not sleeping around here.
No, but I feel like it's still like more your usual energy.
Oh, not referring to
like
a home run.
Oh, no.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a flirty person for sure. But I'm not like, let's spend the night together.
Yeah.
Unless I'm in Europe.
I mean, I think the wedding was proof of
what? Oh.
Like European Kaylee
she was still in her European mindset at that point. Facing the music, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that really is, I think, the times where I felt like I've grown is when I'm like, I'm aware of that thing that I do.
Mm-hmm.
I see that that's either wrong or not the best for me. And it's like, okay, I'm like growing. Cool.
Yeah. What I'm really scared of, though, is that I've had all of these years to be self-aware of that and be like, I'm never going to do that in my next relationship, but I haven't been in another one. So
That's true.
What if it all just comes flooding back? God, I hope not. Don't
Couples therapy. Something that
you have full permission to call me out.
Okay, cool. Because I will. My ex and I always disagreed on this. We always talked about like if we were ever to have kids someday, I always said like I would never have a kid with someone unless I was in therapy with them before, for like at least a year of therapy before you like have a kid together. And he was like, I don't understand that. Like, why would you need to do that if you're in a relationship and you're happy?
Yeah. He didn't understand that therapy is just an ongoing thing. He thinks it's like a fix the problem thing.
He'd be like, what's wrong?
Yeah.
Like, what is it not good? Like, it would jump to like a defense of like the relationship not being good. And I'm like, no, you can literally have a great relationship. You should still go to therapy, especially if you're going to raise a fucking human together. You better fucking figure that shit out. Like, there's definitely therapy and preparation of parenting and like agreeing on things and deciding how you're going to do things before the kid is there, and then you're fucking them up.
Well, and it just gives you a safe place to have those conversations that you probably should be having anyway, but you're being held accountable to have them because you're like, oh, I have therapy, and they're like, I have to have something to talk about.
Yeah.
And then you have a mediator. I just think it all makes so much sense. You guys had a lot of like really foundational things you didn't align on.
Yeah. Oh, I have a list.
Which was the flags that I really wanted to wave.
Wait a minute.
Caution.
Yeah. There were...
Doesn't that suck, though? How you can just love a person and not align on these things, and then you have to find a way to let go of them just because you don't.
Yeah, there's something about a mutual breakup that's even harder.
I did have that thought a lot of like, God, it'd be so much easier if I was just mad at you.
Yes.
I wish I just hated
I thought that
you.
so much. I wish I hated you.
Yeah.
See, the album was
fucking... That song did feel really relevant.
It was everything.
Even though it was...
but so real.
far gone, but it's like, damn, yeah, I know that.
Yeah. That bitch. I'm gonna listen to that.
God, I can't wait to just date another person just so I can have a different ex to talk about. Like, come on.
Both of us talking about our one ex.
Our one ex. At least yours is still relevant. God.
For now. A year later, it'll be like, it's been 2 years. I'm still single.
2 years. God.
No, I don't want to manifest that.
No.
I hope I'm dating someone by my birthday. I'm putting that out into the world. Even if it's like a week before, that's fine. I'm the type of person that'd be like, want to come to the beach?
Birthday? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a jumper. I think I've said that.
Yeah, remember when I went on one date and she was like, are you inviting him to Friendsgiving?
Yes.
Who, the love bomber?
I'm like, well, if you're going to date someone, where are they then? They should be here with everyone, with all of our friends.
Yeah.
I'm such even when I'm in a relationship, like I love hanging out with friends all together. Yeah. It's fun. And it's fun to like get to know your friends' significant others and then like bond with them too. Yeah. It's like a cool thing. So
I do love that too.
Yeah.
Okay then.
Did we
I think we addressed the topic.
I think we did. So basically another relationship rant.
This one's called It's Time to Face the Music.
Yes. You've just been popping out titles. You really have.
Bow, 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 bow. What else did I name?
I don't know. Another one recently.
Another one. Let's look.
I think it was Time to Yearn was you, wasn't it?
It's Time to Yearn. Well, that adds up. Oh, I came up with that one? Yeah, that checks.
So, the moral of the story is you gotta face the music.
Dancing through life. It's time to call the ambulance.
That was you. And that's one of our best performing episodes.
Well, I'd want to press play on that too.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't really know how to like close that because it's like I don't really have advice to give.
Yeah.
On like, so yeah.
Just a deep dive.
This is what we learned because I guess what we learned is self-awareness. And don't like the picture. Don't do the toxic thing.
Take off your rose-colored glasses.
And you know what helped me? This will be the solution. What helped me...
This is it. Oh.
This is it. What helped me not do the toxic thing was thinking about how my toxic thing would affect the other person. Because at first I was like, I want to like stir the pot.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I don't know where he is right now in his life. Would that be something that would trigger him, or like maybe he'd be like, whatever, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But what if it affected him?
Wasn't? Yeah. Yeah,
because it would definitely
pick the worst case scenario and pretend that that's what's happening.
And it's like, well, that could happen, so I don't want to do that to that person, so I'm just gonna like pull it together.
Pull it together. You're Elastica!
But it's still really hard not to do.
Proud of you.
Especially when you're drinking. It's like, it's so easy to press call. But I'm not
Crazy.
gonna. Don't call your ex, no.
No.
Don't call your ex, no. Don't call your ex, it's a really, 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 really,
I don't think I've ever
really
drunkenly
bad
done that.
idea. It's Jordan. Sorry. Really? I'm like still I don't think I can recover from that.
Crazy.
So we're going to have to just wrap up the episode.
I think that's where we were anyway. So.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to add to that?
No.
I think that we're good. I think we're going to wrap.
Yeah. Tie it all up in a bow.
Yeah. Thank you so much for watching or listening to the It's Time podcast. I'm Mariah. That bitch is Kaylee. We have new episodes every Wednesday. We'll see you next time. Oh, this episode was sponsored by Flower Bloom. Thank you, Flower Bloom. We love you. We will be having another event at Flower Bloom very soon.
Yes.
Very exciting. We will be announcing that shortly. And another event soon with Sea Grape Apothecary too. So fun things coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stay tuned. Bye.
See ya.